suspicious.
Everybody knows. All right. Hi. My name is Ingrid, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Ingrid.
Yes. If anybody would know that I'm a suspect, it would be my husband. We did meet in recovery, as he just said. I used to have more time than he did, and we met in this treatment center that we both went to the same meeting at, and now, just to make it brief, I'm coming up on 2 years again. So a big part of my story is that my alcoholism lies to me over and over. And I first drank alcoholically. The first time I drank alcoholically. I was 11. And my father was of a different mind, and it was a different age, and he shared things. And when I was 11, he shared some really bad, nasty wine with me. And I ended up in a ditch. My childhood was pretty much that. And, there was other things, but alcohol was the thing that I liked. It made my tummy all warm and stuff. So I qualify here. Like I qualified myself for years. I have 5 children, and they've all suffered through my disease. Yeah. So how I got to recovery was my 5th child was born, and she had a positive drug test. And I signed a contract that I would go to a treatment center and do, an assessment. And I did all that, but the people I did it with promptly lost my name. And when my baby was 21 days old and my other daughters were 2 and 9, the police showed up at my doorstep and with the CPS workers. And they took that 21-day-old baby and my other 2 daughters and removed them from my home. And it didn't matter what I said, it did not matter. They had decided that I hadn't done what they'd asked. But I never had become so willing as when they did that. I had myself into an inpatient treatment center within 4 days. And I did everything there. I mean, I graduated with honors in every single program I did. And then they turned around and started me again because they didn't believe me. They were suspicious of my activities. But I met my husband. We both had 9 months. And honestly, we were not supposed to date. We were not supposed to be in touch. I was living in a women's treatment center, women only, no men allowed. But I suspect I snuck him in. And but anyways, I had more time than he did, and I got sick. And after about 3 years of solid program, I got sick, and with the help of doctors, I got sicker. Um, they had to put me in a physical medical detox center due to all that they had given me. It was a lot. So then I had to start over, and that was tough. That was really tough. I didn't like that. I did not like that I had to give up my time. It was somebody else's fault. Um, how could he possibly now be ahead of me? All kinds of pride and ego stuff got in the way. And so I was like this, in and out, in and out. I'd get another 3 years and something would happen and I would have a reason in my mind that was enough to drink over. Um, I had a brother. He was my older brother. We were what they call Irish twins, is how close we were. And he was my only sibling, and he was my best friend. And he also was raised with the same by the same father, right? So we had the same disease, and he had medical issues to the point where he was told, if you drink, you'll die. And so then it became my job to make sure that he didn't die. In my mind, it became my job. And so I'd take him around to meetings and try and, get him hooked up, get him in the program. Eventually, he moved to Brazil. And I think he moved there because I couldn't grab him by the scruff in Brazil. And he was doing very well, but after about 5 years of living there, he started drinking there. And they called me, told me that he was going to die and I needed to come say goodbye. And so uh, I flew to Brazil. I was determined that I was going to bring him home. That was all. They could say what they wanted. I was bringing him home. And I told him every single day, and he had tubes and whatnot. He was really messed up, that I wouldn't leave the country without him, that he was coming with me. After 3 months of that, of him in an ICU, I had to go. I had to come home. My husband Mark came and got me, flew to Brazil and said, "You're coming home. It's long enough. You got to come home now." Soon as I was gone, soon as I turned my back, he left. He left me, and that was enough reason to drink again. The reasons, they just keep coming in my life. I've had that happen over and over, and I've been abstinent for periods of time, but not been surrounded by the love of a program. And that's the way out, is to be surrounded by the love of a program. And so recently we moved to Hawaii, and I had decided somewhere along there that I was normal. I could drink normal. They couldn't tell me what I couldn't do, blah, blah, blah. And that turned out badly. And I was drinking into blackouts, and uh, I blew up my marriage. Blew it up to the ground. Start digging. We each had a shovel, digging, digging. We separated, and I knew I had one option to get out, and it was only one option, and that was to crawl my drunken ass, excuse me, into a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. And that's what I did. I went to 3 and 4 meetings a day in Kona, and sat in the corner and cried my eyes out because my life was ruined once again. But the good news, as you can see, is that with the love of a program and a higher power and a sponsor and these 12 steps, that was, I went to meetings and then I immediately called my mainland sponsor that had helped me in 1999. And I said, Heidi, I need help. And she said, absolutely, I'm here for you. Let's do this. And we did. We met on the phone days in a row. We read through the book page by page, did the steps again for the second time with her, which, she knew as much about me as anybody. And it worked. It worked. And Mark came along and said, "Can I come to your noon meeting?" And I was like, "No." But I relented. And so we managed to stitch it back together, right? Yeah, so I qualify. A lot happened. But what it's like now is we have a beautiful life. We live in Hawaii, for God's sake. We have friends more than would fill this room, and they're anxious for us to come home and do more work. We got in on the bottom floor of a Alano club that's just getting started. So we're doing service work there, service work in the meetings, and living a really blessed life today. And just before I left, I got my first sponsee in this new time. I'll have 2 years on April 22nd. So yeah, I think that's about all I got.
Thanks, Ingrid.
Thank you, Ingrid.